Yo, it's good guys. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got a juicy one like this Verlander. Oops, no, not that one. This one. Brand new card just dropped yesterday, and oh boy, he might already be the best right-handed pitcher in the game, if not just flat out the best pitcher. At least on paper for now, because his DS went and gave him a sinker now, and honestly, I don't care. I gotta give them their flowers, their props. They've cooked with this card. Tip your cap. It's a free Milestone Program card that you can get it by grinding the game for about an hour. It's going to be meta. Already mentioned, it's probably the best right-handed pitcher in the game, and even it helps out with collections because there's also this Rookie of the Year Tigers Verlander in the program as well, and it is not bad at all for a 95 overall. You can actually use this card online. I'm sure Tigers fans will appreciate it for their Tigers theme team. Alright, enough yapping. Let's dive in. But before we begin, I'm letting you know I'm splitting this video in two parts. And as always, there will be chapters in the description and a pinned comment with timestamps so you can just skip around. Just do me one quick little favor. Drop a like if you learned something or you like this video, and subscribe if you are new. Also, you can join the Discord server. A link will be in the description. So part 1 will consist of me breaking down how you should sequence and pitch versus lefties and versus righties with this card, my approach for online game, same thing with tunneling and sequences, and my overall approach. Part 2 will be me hopping into ranked seasons for a live gameplay with this Verlander card, talking through my pitch selection and sequencing in real time. This one is mainly for Hall of Fame and above, but I'll throw in a few tips for All-Star too. I just cannot promise you the same level of success because it is All-Star. It is extremely easy to hit on All-Star, so pitching, it's obviously pitchers will always struggle on an All-Star, especially in this time of the year. So let's get into it. Before we head into the gameplay, I'm gonna talk a little bit about a couple of things here. Obviously, I'm not gonna read the per nines. I think that's stupid. You have eyes, you can read, you can look at them, they're right on your screen. But I will say I'm gonna explain some things that you may be not familiar with. I'm gonna talk about, you are going to hear me mention a lot tunneling. If you don't know what that is, it's just basically throwing a pitch that looks exactly the same out of the hand, but it's obviously not the same pitch. You will see what I mean in just a second once we get into the gameplay. And also I will talk about establishing a baseline. What I mean is the graphic that you have on your screen. The sinker is your baseline. You're going to be throwing the sinker between probably like 97 and 94. Most, like 90% of the time, you will be throwing between 94 and 97. So that's a solid baseline for your opponent's timing. And the purpose of throwing this, establishing as a baseline, throwing it at least 40% of the time to like up to like 50, 55, is because then you can start tunneling and either pumping up the gas with an outlier four seam, and it's going to look very similar, the sinker and the four seam out of the hand, and even you can slow it down and throw the changeup. So you establish a baseline and you can either go up or down. So that's what I mean by a baseline. Alright, so I just wanted to mention the control on this card is crazy. Over 80 on high 80s on every single one of his five pitches is crazy. The break, funny enough, it's a slider, probably his worst pitch against lefties and against righties. I don't think it's a very good pitch. Obviously, you will never be throwing the 12-6 curveball, and I will explain why once we get into the video. But the slider is probably one of his worst pitches. Doesn't have the best break. Yeah, he has some very good control, but it's very slow. and loopy, so you have to be very careful with it. It's funny because it's probably one of his best pitches in real life, and in the game I would highly recommend you don't throw it as often. Let's go into the field. Alright, so now we're here. Obviously this is the live series card. I'm in custom practice, so the pitch speeds are not going to be accurate. This is not the milestone card, this is just the live series Verlander card. So you would have to ignore the 70-mile-an-hour sinker. But anyways, so this card is very similar to Kershaw. The big difference obviously is the outlier and him being a right-hander instead of a lefty. I will say you are never going to throw this curveball with this card. It's very fast. You're going to be throwing it like 81, 82, 81, 83. That's very fast for a 12-6 curveball. So it's not very good, so just forget about it. Just forget it even exists. With Kershaw, it's very slow, so you can maybe sometimes get away with it when your opponent is not really expecting it. You can get him to swing it at stuff at the dirt, especially if you've gotten with a sinker or the fastball. But with this card, it's very fast. You're probably just going to hang it, especially if you don't pitch on pinpoint or at least analog. Even on analog sometimes, and even on pinpoint too, you can just hang these pitches. It's very hard. They just have like these built-in magnets to go right down the middle. So that's that. The slider, again, the slider is not good. I don't think the slider on this card is very good, at least not if you compare it to Kershaw's. It's a bullet slider. It's a great pitch against righties and probably against lefties too. He throws it like low 90s, at least high 80s. The slider on this Verlander card is between like 84 and 86 at the very best. It's very slow, very loopy, and very easy to recognize out of the hand. I just played a game against Verlander last night and I tagged him for like 6 runs in 5 innings. My opponent wasn't doing the best job, but still, that, obviously makes me worried a little bit. Just maybe he's not as good as I thought he was going to be. But so he's not perfect by any means, but I think he's going to be extremely fun to play with. I've had a blast with Kershaw, and I really hope he's just the righty version of Kershaw with outlier, so that makes him usable on All-Star, because I don't think you can use Kershaw on All-Star unless you're playing someone that's just going to swing at the curve in the dirt, which I know it's possible in those difficulties. There's some people that just swing at everything. But that's that. Alright, let's get into tunneling and sequences. Okay, versus lefties. I think it's kind of a blessing in disguise that we're in a switch hitting meta, and probably the majority of the best bats are left-handed. You got Ken Griffey, Schwarber, everybody's running with Schwarber, Ballinger's in everybody's lineups. There's the 99 milestone Nick Kurtz. So there's a lot of options, and everybody's running 6 switch hitters at the very least on their lineup. So you're going to be seeing a lot of lefties. I think that's a blessing in disguise for this card. I don't think you have the best stuff. I don't think his pitch arsenal is the best against righties. I will explain why in a minute. So versus lefties, I already talked about the sinker is going to be your baseline, is going to be your best friend against lefties and against righties. My approach with this card is going to be very similar that with Kershaw. Your baseline is your sinker. You're going to start throwing this away first, probably just away. Away sinkers are one of the hard, away down or up and away sinkers, probably one of the hardest pitch to just have the timing right out the gate, unless you're playing that somewhat absolutely cracked at this game. Chances are not, they're going to struggle. They're going to take a couple of innings to like really get figure out the outside timing windows on the sinkers. Even if they put a perfect swing, it's probably not gonna go for a home run. So once you establish your sinker outside, up and away, middle away, down and away. Obviously, I'm not saying throw sinkers until your opponent crushes it. What you can do is this pitch goes very well with that, with a sinker. Just the outlier up and away again is one of the hardest pitches to just have the perfect timing, unless your opponent is just sitting on it. Obviously, you have to be very careful if your opponent has been pulling every sinker early Don't throw the four seam outlier. He's going to crush it perfect. And again, you can just tunnel those two pitches with this circle change. You're going to be getting a lot of ground balls with this card, a lot of swings and misses. I would hope so, because it's extremely hard to just square up a changeup unless you absolutely just hang it. Like, you're not doing anything with that pitch that you just see right there. So once you establish the outside part of the zone, you can then start throwing things inside, on the inside part of the plate against lefties. And again, it's going to be the sinker. I would say, if you're not on pinpoint and maybe you're struggling a little bit with the release, don't throw anything inside. The 90% of the players on the MLB The Show, they just sit inside because the timing windows, maybe they struggle with the four seams, and they, at least early in the game, they're always sitting there. They have their PCI like right here. And if you just start throwing the sinkers down and in, which is probably again one of the best and hardest pitches to just square up, even if you have if your opponent manages to hit it perfect, like let's say you throw a sinker right here and he puts on a perfect swing, chances are it's going to be a line out, at the very best a perfect double. It's probably going to be a single most of the time. So it's very annoying, very overpowered, very hard to hit for a home run or do some actual damage. So you're going to throw this once the pitch has confidence. Why? Because throwing this pitch right here, if the pitch doesn't have like the highest confidence, you're just going to hang it down the middle. It's very easy to hang pitches that you're just going to front door sinkers and changeups. It's very easy to hang them if you don't have like maxed out confidence on the pitch. So that's why I'd say start outside. Then you can just, once you have like high confidence on both pitches, then you can just start throwing the front door changeups, glove side changeups and sliders inside against lefties, and you're going to get your opponent swinging. Once you establish all that, then you can incorporate this four seam like right in this area right here. It's going to look exactly the same out of the sinker and even the changeup. So if you just don't throw it like often, the first time you want to throw this pitch is probably like on a 2-strike count. It's basically at least a guaranteed strike. If your opponent manages to get contact, it's probably going to shatter their bat or pop out or something, maybe a foul ball, but they're not going to be ready for 101 right in the hands when all you've been throwing is sinkers and changeups. So even then, if you've been throwing stuff in the dirt like the changeup, you've been missing your spots right here, and then you just come in and try to catch him, try to paint him with an outlier forcing, they're probably just going to take it, assuming it's going to go outside of the zone, of the strike zone. So you're probably going to either catch him looking, or you're just going to obliterate their bat. And once you show that pitch, and this is one of the reasons why I'd say you have to start the outside and work yourself towards the inside part of the plate against lefties, is because once you show that outlier fastball, your opponent is going to be worried about it, because unless they were just sitting on it and waiting for it all game, they're not going to be ready for that. So now that's in the back of their heads. They're worried about that pitch. They're going to be speeding their bat up, and you can just finally throw the slider inside. And then you can just get cute with everything. You can start attacking him inside with the sliders. He's going to think it's a sinker or a fastball. Then you can just front door the changeup, or then you can just keep going again with, once he kind of figures out the inside timings, then you can just start going outside on the outside part of the play, arm side. I think there's a lot of things you can do with this card. It's very fun. When you have a lot of options, I think it's very fun pitching. But we go now to righties. I don't think there's a lot of things you can do versus right-handed batters. It's basically just the sinker, the four seam, and the slide and the changeup. The slider, I don't think it's a very good pitch because it's very slow and loopy, very easy to recognize, and chances are you're just probably going to hang it. It's either going to be a non-competitive pitch. I don't think you're going to be able to just dot this pitch like every single time. Doesn't have the best break, so it's very loopy. It's going to float a lot, very easy to recognize out of the hand, and it's not fast. So I don't think it's a very good pitch unless you're just tucking it in the corner like that every single time. Then yes, just keep throwing that. Your opponent is probably not going to do a lot with a pitch like that. But if you're just hanging it, or you just get, or you're just missing on the like a bad pitch, probably just shy away from that and just start again. Establish your baseline. The sinkers inside. A lot of players will struggle with this. If they're thinking about the sinker, they're probably going to be early the first pitches. They're going to be worried about the four seam inside as well, especially if you're facing a right-handed batter that doesn't have the best swing. Someone like, I don't know, like who's like Joey Bats. Some people don't really like his swing versus righties. They get jammed a lot, so they will think about the outlier. You just come in with a sinker. Now they're probably going to take some bad swings. Once they kind of get the hang of it, then you can add the outlier up and in, middle inside. Just open up the gas, right? You're just going to throw harder, and you can tunnel that with a changeup. I will say this pitch, I don't think it's very smart. I don't think it's a very good pitch because it's not a splitter. I don't really like the changeups down and inside, tunneling on a tunnel with a sinker and a four seam. In this game, I think it's very easy to recognize. The best pitch is probably this like belt high inside changeup. And with this pitch, unless you have like the best confidence, it looks like a four seam or a sinker out of the hand. But if you just throw it here, it's very obvious what you're trying to do. And unless you're playing someone that's on panic mode, just swinging at everything, they're going to recognize it. And if they recognize it and you hang it, because when you throw a changeup right here, if you mess up your release by just a bit, you're going to hang it. See, like it's extremely easy to hang it, even with high confidence. So you're just going to end up throwing a changeup like right here in this area. It's going to get crushed. It's going to get hit for a perfect home run. That's just how it is. And changeups inside, high level players will never swing at that. Even sometimes some players have the best eye and they don't even swing at sinkers inside. So you have to be very careful. That's why I'd say it's not the best. He doesn't have the best arsenal versus right-handed batters. If he had a curveball, then maybe you can also try to throw this, try to jam him. But again, it's a 12-6. It's very fast for a 12-6 curveball, and it's very easy to hang it. It's extremely easy to hang off-speed pitches. They have like built-in magnets to go straight down the middle. So I would highly recommend that you just shy away from that, abstain yourself from throwing that. If the slider is not working, then you're really only working sinkers and four seams. And once your opponent, maybe your opponent is always ready for inside stuff, because that's what you should be throwing, then you can work with this outlier four seam up and away. Again, up and away is one of the hardest, at least weirdest timing. It's very, I don't know, kind of inconsistent. The timing on the outside pitches are very weird. They really feel different in probably every single pitch, especially if you're on a bad server. So the outlier up and away is going to be a very strong pitch. And once you establish that, with the sinkers inside, the four seams right here and right here, then you can throw this pitch again, like same, like belt high, but outside on glove side, the changeup. Again, this is very cute if you're pitching, but again, it's extremely easy to just hang a pitch like this. So this is getting too cute. If you're not on pinpoint, even if you're on analog, you're going to be doing that 60% of the time. So if you're not on pinpoint, don't throw this pitch. Don't try to get cute. You're just going to hang it and you're going to regret it. But again, it is a very, very nice tunnel against righties. It's that the changeup, like middle high right here, either arm side or glove side. Very strong pitch. It tunnels exactly like that four seam out of the hand. So your opponent's probably going to swing over the top, just get a strikeout early, or you're going to get a weak grounder to shortstop if you're throwing it outside. And again, I mean, the slider, obviously, and then you can just start working the slider middle away, but again, very easy to hang. The slider here doesn't look as bad because this live series card throws harder than the milestone one for whatever reason. But that's, again, obviously you still have the sinker. If you have confidence, then you can throw it. But again, it's very easy to just hang when you're trying to backdoor a sinker like that, glove side. Very easy to just hang it in down the middle. So I would say you only get to get cute once you have like full confidence. Another pitch that is probably just getting too cute is the slider inside right here. Again, obviously, I think that slider inside is probably going to be better than the changeup, because it kind of looks like a sinker that's going to end up outside of the plate, and then you know the last second it comes right in, it darts into the strike zone, like you see, like right there. But again, that's getting too cute. You're probably going to just hit the batter or hang it down the middle if you miss. So you have to be very careful. And again, if your opponent has been struggling with the sinkers and the four seam inside, they're late, they're getting jammed, don't bail them out and try to get cute, throw a slider, like just backdoor a slider for a strike. If you wanna throw it in the dirt, then maybe you can get him swinging, but don't throw it for a strike. They're probably just going to keep being late to that sinker because they've just been struggling, and they're going to hit a perfect home run off of you. You're just going to feel bad, and you're going to get tilted, and you're going to start making mistakes. So avoid those things. Sinkers inside is probably your best friend against righties, and once they figure that out, then you can just start working on the outside, glove side part of the plate. So I think with righties, you're gonna start inside, versus lefties, you're gonna start outside, work your way inside, versus righties, start inside, work your way outside. That's how I would pitch. That's how I will be pitching in the game that I will be playing today in ranked season. So I hope you learned something. Again, if you have any other ideas, maybe a tunnel that I missed that you think is very good or has worked for you with a Verlander card before, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'm always open to try new things, new ideas, and you know, just trying to get better at this game. And maybe somebody else sees your comment and they learn something new. We all benefit from that. Let's help each other out. All right, I'll see you on the field now. All right, here we go. Starting off with a sinker away. Okay, so he's early. Gotta keep that in mind.
Ball, that's outside.
Are you going to R2 me the whole game, bro?
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Shit. Okay, so he's very early. We got lucky there. Cannot miss my spot here.
That's a ball.
Hopefully he doesn't crush this. Let's go. Yeah, he's still super early. I think he's definitely seeing a fastball. Alright, first righty. Gotta be very careful here. He still has an insanely fast bat here. Gotta keep throwing him balls, cause yeah, he's swinging at everything right now. He wanted to go there. I don't know how we didn't hit him there, but I'll take it. Yeah, he's still early. I'm not gonna throw him the fastball until he slows down his bat a little bit. Alright. Yep. I just go with a changeup. He may be ready for this because we got him out last time.
1, no strikes.
Alright. I'm gonna throw it again. Yeah, he's still insane. He's bad as instinct. Okay, so now we have confidence. Now we can do this. Hopefully I don't hang this. Great pitch. Yeah. Beautiful pitch.
1 ball.
I'm gonna go with a
2 strikes.
sinker here. This may be a bad idea, and I missed the spot. He is still early. This guy. Yeah, alright. Okay, so we got one in that first inning. We're back for inning number 2. His bat was insanely fast last time. Maybe this increased a mistake here, but yeah, he slowed it down dramatically. I think he was still early. Okay.
Ball 1.
He wanted to swing there. Not gonna show him the fast move just yet. I hang the changeup, yeah. He stayed back there, so it may be time to do this.
3.
Yeah, he was late. Alright, so perfect. That was a perfect sequence right there. After that first inning, he made the adjustment and we immediately adjusted back. And again, and he's fast again. Okay. Okay, this may be a mistake. Great pitch. Yeah, beautiful pitch right there. Hit right on the money. I'm gonna go with a sinker. Now.
Ball, that's out.
Good take. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna R2 in the next inning. Hopefully he stops doing that.
1 and 1.
See? Like, he's doing it on purpose.
Aye. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Okay, so he's sitting back now. I'm gonna do this. I think he won't be ready for it. Okay, so he was late. I swear to God with this R2 real, man. Oh, we got him again. Beautiful inning. Beautiful, like we're pitching perfectly right now. We are back for the 3rd inning. We got 2 more that inning, so that's always nice. I'm gonna start him off with an outlier. I have not done this. Yeah, he's not ready.
0 and 1.
I'll go with a sinker inside now.
Off the plate, ball 1.
Good take. Also, this lobby feels a little bit delayed. Oops. Okay. He was early there. I don't want to change up inside. He has had some trouble with this. Yeah, perfect pitch. Another strikeout. We got 5 strikeouts through 2 and a 3rd. We are dominating right now. He's late there.
0-1's the
I'm gonna
count.
go with this slider. I'm not showing this righty.
Ball 1.
Good take. Gonna go upstairs, up and away. He's late.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
I'm gonna throw this change up in the dirt. See if he chases. Beautiful. We're dominating right now on the mound now.
He's out.
I've been very impressed with this Verlander card. He should be swinging at this. Yeah, he's early. I'm gonna throw him fastball. I don't think he will be ready for this.
No.
He wanted to swing. Good eye. And I missed my spot.
2-1.
I'll go with a sinker down and away. Beautiful pitch. This may be a mistake, but I think he's going to bite.
3.
Beautiful pitch. Yeah, we're done. We're absolutely cooking this guy. This guy is in an absolute blender right now. Let's go. And just like that, he is gone. He did not want that Verlander smoke. I thought, I know that was only 3 innings, but we dominated on the mound. I'm gonna leave that as as the video. This is going to be almost like 30 minutes now. I know I've talked about the pitching sequences in practice mode for like 20 minutes. So I think those 3 innings will show you exactly what all you need to do if you're playing ranked with this card. We just obliterated that guy. I think we got like 7 strikeouts. 7 of our 9 outs were strikeouts. We look absolutely insane on the mound. Like honestly, that video could have not panned out any better. So yeah, I'm very happy for it. I'll leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know how it goes if you try to mount this card. Have you used them online? How did it go for you? I would love to know. And if you used them and you got shelled, try some of the tips that I shared with you guys today, and let me know how that goes. Until then, I'll catch you later.
Do it! Just